I just heard chains, and I really... Owning a ghost town, lots of people ask you, do you believe in ghosts? And when I purchased the town, the answer to that question was a firm no, a definitive no way. But I think since owning it, I've moved along the scale towards skeptic, and I've really shied away from the ghost adventure element of this channel. But it's Halloween, paranormal is a part of Cerro Gordo's past, so if there's ever a time to check out these things, it was tonight. So tonight's gonna be a long one. I'm gonna drink some coffee, and I'm gonna go to all these spots looking for these happenings. What happens, I don't know, but at least this way I can put it to bed. So without further ado, let's get into it. I think for me, the inciting incident, the first time that I ever moved out of the firm non-believer camp was just over a year ago in the bunkhouse here at Cerro Gordo. And the bunkhouse is an original building that was built in 1900. It's a long building with a long hallway in the middle with 3 rooms on either side. And this particular day, I was walking up to see the sunset. And to get to the best sunset spot at Cerro Gordo, you have to walk right by the bunkhouse. And as I was approaching the bunkhouse, I noticed somebody open the lace curtains in the kitchen, look out, and close them. And the light was on in the kitchen. And at first, being a rational person, this didn't bother me at all. We had had people coming to the property to work on it, so I assumed they were just still here hanging out. So I went about my day, I went up and I watched a beautiful sunset. I came back down, went to bed and pretty much forgot about it. And I remember in the morning I woke up and I was talking to Robert, the caretaker who had been there. I said, hey Robert, how long are the contractors staying? And he kind of slowly turned to me and he was like, they left 2 weeks ago. And I remember that feeling and that instant really specifically because my heart just dropped. It was one of those things where I know I saw somebody look out that window. I know the curtains moved. And I know that nobody just happens upon Cerro Gordo. And so, being a rational person and still trying to be very pragmatic about it, I went over there, I turned off the light, I closed the blinds, felt for drafts, I didn't feel any, and I put a padlock on the door, a lock that only I have a key to. And I went about my day, forgot all about it, and that night, a sunset came. I decided I was gonna go watch the sunset again. So I started walking up the hill towards the bunkhouse, and the light was back on in the kitchen. And it was just one of those moments where your heart stops, and you just say no out loud to nobody in particular. And I remember I went over, I unlocked the door, I went in, and not only was the light on, but the switch was back up. And I was the only person in the world with a key to that building. I know it sounds unbelievable, but the light was back on. And so I decided to investigate. I started walking down the hallway to see if maybe anything was in there. And I remember as I was walking down the long hallway, each step, I kept getting this overwhelming sense that I shouldn't be there. And it's a feeling I had never had before in my life, and I've never had since. I remember by the time I got to the back 2 rooms, my skin was just pins and needles, and this overwhelming voice was just saying, run. And I did. I ran back out of there and haven't really been back to the bunkhouse very much since. It really has an energy to it that I don't love. I think it's a beautiful building structurally, but it's just not one that I enjoy spending time in. I tried to renovate it to lighten up the mood. I ripped out this old carpet, I painted the walls white, I tried to cleanse it in every way that I could, but still when I go in there, I hear things. I hear footsteps, I hear voices. And my way of handling it so far is just not to go into the bunkhouse. You know, there's 20 other buildings here. I can find places to have my own peace. So that was it for me. That was the kind of first incident that I couldn't explain. Some of the things that have happened here, you're welcome to interpret them however you like. I'm still not sure how to interpret them, but they happened, and I can only imagine what the next, 50 years holds up here.
Below me is the Union Mine, and around the late 1870s, 30 miners died in a collapse at the 200 level. They were mining in the limestone and failed to shore it up properly. Their bodies were never recovered and still rest just below where I'm sitting. This has led many people to believe that the town and this building are haunted. The most common things people report in this building are the sounds of chains dragging, or people screaming, or even, as reported to me by a close friend, the sight of a headless woodsman on the southeast corner of the building. Most recently, we had a visitor that spoke Cantonese, and he came up with his father to this mine, sat very similar to where I am, and reported communicating back and forth with the miners. This was a guy that didn't believe in paranormal activity, and the sight on his face is one that I'll never forget.
Probably the second most famous ghost of Cerro Gordo is William Crapo. William Crapo was a former postmaster at Cerro Gordo, and he had a little cabin right next to the American Hotel. And somewhere around 1893, he got in an argument with the current postmaster of Cerro Gordo and his friend. They were walking by, delivering mail, and a political argument came out about a local election. Crapo stormed off, went back inside his house, came out a minute later, shot one man, Bolin, right in the back, and then shot at his friend who had to hide behind a stagecoach. Bolin dropped dead there in the street right outside the American Hotel, and Crapo went on the run. The local newspaper the next day said that Crapo hid into a mine and was never seen again. Some believe that he died in a mine, and others believe that he went on to Mojave and assumed a new identity. The governor of California eventually offered a reward for Crapo's arrest, but he was never found. Ever since then, numerous people have said they've seen apparitions coming and going out of Crapo's house. I don't know if this was William Crapo coming back to get his belongings after he fled, or maybe it was the postmaster continuing his rounds even after death. But what I do know is where the Crapo house was. Unfortunately, that was also lost in the fire. So this would have been the walk that the postmaster and his friend was on, walking down towards the hotel. And this was Crapo's house. And the door was right around here. So I imagine that day, right around where this dirt is, Crapo would have exited the house. The argument happened right around here. Crapo would return back into his house, come out, and shoot the guys not 20 feet over there. So it's kind of eerie to think that right here on this patch of ground is where Bolin died, the postmaster. And it's always been said that the spirits are coming in and out of the house right there. Unfortunately, it was lost in the fire as well. This is all that's left of Crapo's house these days. turn off the lights for him. Billy? Billy, you around here? Mr. Boland? Mr. Boland? I'll wait here for a minute, but no Billy at the moment. Billy? Billy, are you still around? That back tripped me out. I don't know if Billy's here anymore. Maybe he'll come back when we rebuild, but for now, it's seeming pretty empty out here. I don't know if Billy's gonna show, so I think it's on to the next place of murder here at Cerro Gordo, Lola's Palace of Pleasure, which is just up the hill here, not even 100 yards from Crapo's house. Oh, headed to Lola's. Lola was a badass of her day. She was born in Mexico and eventually came to Inyo County, where she started a saloon in Lone Pine. The saloon did great, so she purchased some property at Cerro Gordo and eventually established the brothel Lola's Palace of Pleasure, which still stands today. And obviously the combination of whiskey and women caused a lot of gunfight at Lola's, even to the point where a local doctor recounted that he went there with a friend, and the friend said the nickname of one of Lola's women that he didn't like, and she tried to kill him with a stiletto, and then a gunfight broke out, and it didn't stop till the morning until all the lights were shot out in town and numerous people were dead. There's only one remaining photo of Lola where she's wearing a black dress. And over the past decades, numerous people have said that they've seen a woman in the black dress roaming the streets of Cerro Gordo. I don't know if it's Lola, but when shown the photos, many of these people describe it as a very similar person. Is it Lola coming back to regain her dominance of Cerro Gordo? Or maybe one of her girls looking for her next client? I don't know, but we're gonna walk the streets tonight and see what's out there. Lola. Lola. Where are you? Lola? Lola. What's that? That's what remains of Lola's Palace of Pleasure. It's interesting because it was right next to the assay office. So the assay office is where they tested the quality of the minerals. And I guess they would strike riches and go right to the brothel. And Lola's used to extend way over there, so it's not nearly as long as it used to be. Lola. Lola. Can you imagine if these walls could talk? Anybody that knows Cerro Gordo knows that there's three main ghosts around town. And probably the most famous among those was a guy named Alphonse Benoit. Alphonse was a woodcutter in a neighboring camp. And the story of his life is a little unclear, but what is known is that he was murdered in one of the mines surrounding Cerro Gordo. was debated as whether he murdered somebody first and his murder was retribution, or he was just a stone cold killer. The most common place that Alphonse appeared at Cerro Gordo was in the hotel. Numerous parties, all independent of each other, would report seeing a man out the back left window of the hotel. The old owners even had a photo of the apparition that they would keep on the front desk in a photo album to let visitors look through. I think the last time Alphonse was seen was only a number of hours before the hotel burned down. The caretaker Robert was giving a tour, and the visitor he was showing got freaked out because they saw an apparition out of the back left window. When asked what he looked like, they described just what people had described before. For me, I had heard about Alphonse for a long time before purchasing Cerro Gordo. I'd seen the photograph that's now missing because it was in the hotel. And so I know the story of Alphonse, and if he's not able to stay at his typical haunts anymore, he may have returned to the mine that he was murdered in. So tonight, we're gonna visit that mine and see if there's anything there. A local historian who I trust deeply told me the mine that he believes Alphonse was murdered in. We're now at the part of the night, to be honest with you, that I've been looking the least forward to. The hunt for Alphonse. I explore mines all the time, but exploring them at nights is something else, and particularly given the history of this mine. I don't love being here, but again, if the point of tonight is to push the limits of what I'm comfortable with, that's what we're gonna do. It's just what you want to see, right? Coming in. Man. Well, here goes nothing. Gotta tell you, don't feel great about this. I turn this off. That's the exit. That's where we're going. I turn that off. That's the exit. Can't tell where it is. Man. All right, here we go. Alphonse? Alphonse? Don't really love saying the guy's name out loud. Just doesn't seem like the type of thing you want to do. Alphonse? So this is the rope that I was told is hanging from the ceiling, and I was told never to go past it that way. Guess
today's the day, if any. Oh, there's a piece of silver ore right there. See it? Oh. It's dynamite. You're not supposed to go back this way, so I might turn around. It's completely still back here, but it's just rocking back and forth. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't know which way is behind me. There's 3 ways. Alphonse? 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 The weirdest thing I could do right now is just turn off the light. Alphonse? Alphonse? Fuck that. Nope, don't like that one bit. Nope, I think we're gonna keep that light on. I don't know, guys. There's noises and it's moving, but I don't see anything. Let's keep going. Move past this for now. I don't even know where this tunnel goes. It's super dark back here. What the f is that? No. Ew. It's like a decaying rabbit at the end of a tunnel. I gotta get out of here. Fuck that. What do you think? Climb up? Sometimes it's in these moments when you realize you're miles away from the town center, which is miles away from any other town, and you're all by yourself. But damn, I want to climb up this ladder. Maybe just a little bit. Just a touch. Just enough to feel. Oh. Is this sturdy? Alphonse? Oh, it's so tempting though. I mean, the harder it is to get to, the cooler stuff could be up there. Alright, just a little bit more. Oh man, look how this is attached. It's attached with wire. Something's falling from above me. Nope. That. Nope, we're out of here. We're going down. Alphonse? Ooh, I saw a light. I don't know if that's just me being extremely tired, but I saw a light down here. Alphonse? I think it's the time of night where you just start freaking yourself out every little sound. Ah. Alphonse. The hell's that? Blood? It's not blood. Where are you? Alphonse. No.
I'm hearing a lot of stuff. I don't know if it's like I don't know if it's the time of night, if I'm tired, if I'm expecting to see certain things, so you do, but man, that was the closest I've ever did you see that? I don't know if it's me looking into the lights for a long time and looking out. That's the closest thing I've ever seen to, dude, no. No. It's time for me, it's time for me to go to bed. I need to get out of here. I don't like this. I even just saw someone like walking over the track, like this, like just almost like a little cloud hovering over the track. No, let's get out of here. We're done.
It's enough Alphonse hunting. Hold up. Hold the ghost investigation. Do we have denim? Imagine finding denim on the day I'm supposed to be finding Alphonse? No. This is like a blouse or something. What type of miner would wear that? Like lace? What's that? Oh, just casual dynamite roll. Oh, what have we got here? I bet Alphonse wore this. I'm just kidding, Alphonse. Not making light of you. Look, it's like probably part of a glove, maybe? Damn, imagine if that was denim. I mean, I think I would get haunted. I'd meet Alphonse in exchange for some jeans. If Alphonse popped up right there and was like, yo, Brent, you're gonna have a heart attack, but I'm gonna give you a perfect pair of denim jeans, Levi's. You know what, Alphonse? We can make that deal. And what do we have there? It's a bag stuck in this overhang. Come on. Levi's, come on, Levi's. Come on. Levi's. Come on. Damn, that's dusty. Levi's. No Levi's. Damn it. What else is up there? You see anything? I like that. It's like asking the camera, "You see anything?" Oh boy, that time of night. See, typically I go to bed at like 9 up here, and it's well past midnight now, and so we are far past my bedtime. So if anything, could be the combination of canned coffee I drank. What was that? Or the time of day, but what does it say? All right, that's it. Alphonse, you win. Keep the jeans, keep yourself. Going home.
So that's the ghost of Cerro Gordo. That's it this week. It's very late. It's past 3 now. it's time for me to go to bed. Next week we'll be back to regular programming, but if you own a ghost town, I feel like you gotta go searching for ghosts at least once. And that's what this video was. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm still on the very skeptical end of things. I don't think I'll ever forget that mine experience with Alphonse, but still unconvinced. But ask me again in a year, or 10 years, or 100 years, I may still be here. But that's it for now. Thank you guys for checking out this week's episode. I will see you all next time.